when you look. Hey guys, welcome back to Econ Elite. My name is John Edward, and today we're going to talk about product detail pages and how we can improve them. We're going to go through a couple of them right now and see what is going to be the ways and how we can improve these pages. And so we're going to do it step by step, show you exactly what's good about the page, how we can improve the page, and then what our plan is moving forward. So if you guys love the channel, you want to see more content, please hit that like, share, subscribe button, and we really appreciate any feedback you got for us. So let's go ahead, jump right in here. Three things that we're going to learn today is the important sections of the product detail page. You know, what are going to be the key attribute areas on the product page, and how can we take the most out of each of those sections. Second thing is, how are we going to add value to the product page and the product in of itself to increase sales. And then we've got some really cool tools that you guys can use to enhance your product research. If you checked out the other video, yasiv.com, you should go and watch that one. It's a great tool for product research, especially if you're a visual learner. We're going to utilize that tool again today, and then we're also going to go ahead and use a couple of other tools to make sure that the product pages are exactly what they're telling us. So let's go ahead, get in there right now. One of them that we found is this kneeling pad. You can see right away that kneeling pad, thick, extra large foam, comfort kneeling pad. So you can see right away in the title, this is where the most important keywords of the entire page. So whatever the most important keywords, they're going to be right there in the title because that's going to get indexed first. So you're going to want them to be right there in the forefront. You can see these are probably a combination of some keyword phrases. So right away this person's putting them in there, and then they even go ahead and repeat them there. You don't necessarily need to repeat them. It already has kneeling pad, so you don't need to put kneeling pad again because it's already indexed. So the second thing in here, work, gardening, yoga, exercise. So now they're just throwing them in there, which is fine. You know, you can go ahead and put some comments in there, just make it look a little bit better. And you can see here, images, standard image, white image, second image. Now, when you're doing these images, you're going to have one chance to make it stand out. And so you can see right here, it's a blue foam. If we scroll down, what's another one that gets bought with it? Another blue foam thing. And you go and look, they're all nearly the exact same. Some of them have their logos on them, and some of them don't. Some of them have a watermark, which you're not supposed to do, but some people do it. So the second thing is, so this is right away you have your most important area. This is the one thing that's going to stop them. So you're going to want to have something that's going to be different than what other sellers are having, because you want to have a pattern. It's called a pattern interruption. When people are scrolling, you want to get them to stop. So if they see a bunch of the same exact style foam mats that everybody's looking at, then why would they stop at yours? But if you have something that's different, or it's angled different, or you know, maybe there's another, it's shown at a different style, or maybe yours is a different size, you want to really showcase those things in your first image. So you can see right here, a couple of them, different colors, it's got the logo on there. This person even turned it into a different front-facing view. This one over here, same thing. This one's got two of them in there, and so that's pretty cool because now, since it's a two-pack, you can go ahead and show both of them in there, and they're both at different angles, showing kind of different uses. So that's another good way. It's going to get somebody to stop as opposed to looking at a long list of all of them that look nearly identical. Even sometimes rotating it, the image, doing it flip, 180 flip, mirror, and that'll make a difference. So let's jump over to the second one. So on the other images past your first main image, you're going to want to really utilize those images to really quickly and concisely explain to the customer why yours is going to be the better one. And so if we go ahead and take a look here, you can see he's going to say durable, portable, easy to clean, points it out what the sizes are, the warranty that's on it. You know, now that's pretty standard across like all products. Everybody has the money back guarantee. It's included in Amazon Prime, and then you also have the 12-month warranty where sellers, this is something that sellers have to do themselves. So if you want to do a 12-month warranty, you can. Amazon only says, you know, within the 45 days they have to return it. Anything outside of that is up to you. You can see here on the second image, now he's showing you the thickness of it, and then another example, how easy it is to hold with the handle there. So again, this is really good. You can see how thick it is, and then use that. Maybe customers will use that to compare to the thickness of other mats, because ultimately the whole point of the mat is to be thick, and then provide comfort for when you're kneeling. So if you have a thin one, that's not going to be great. Here again, another showing competitors, saying again, look, ours is thick. Here are some other ones that aren't as thick, and then some examples of people using them. Again, when you're using these ones, you really want to show quality lifestyle photos. Now these are pretty basic photos. These are just photos that are literally just laid on top of each other and then photoshopped into it. I mean, even on the most basic level, you can do that. So you can see this is not somebody who took, this is a phone camera right here. And so you can just use your phone camera. Most phone cameras are going to take really good quality photos now. And so you really want to utilize anything and everything that you have at your disposal. And so just take the photos, crop them out so it's just showing the pads or whatever the product is in use. And in this example, this is okay. I would definitely probably spruce it up a little bit, and then maybe have one of these images for each one. So it would only be, maybe this top image here, and then, showing maybe like some other text that says why it's good, can be used in, X amount weather, good, in hot weather, rainy, whatever else when you're gardening. And then use this again as another example image that has its own image, and just saying great for when you're changing your car, tires, whatever else. This quality test, they're running over it with a car. I don't know necessarily if this adds much value, but again, they're just showcasing it. Instead, I would replace it with one of these images and then highlight the use there for outside in the gardening, why it's good, long hours or whatever else in both of these cases. Maybe even have another example of it using it in a different work environment. And so here again, this is a good one because now they're showing it that you can easily just clean it off. I like this one. I would definitely keep this one. This one I would definitely keep. I would probably not use this thin setup that they've got here, which is kind of awkward because you have this entire space right here. So you really want to utilize the entire space. I mean, if I was gonna do something like this, I would actually have 4 of these images. So it would be one here at the top, another one next to it, and another one, to really take advantage of the entire space. So you see here, we go here, look how wide and large this image compared to this one. So they're really not taking advantage of the full allotted space that they have there. If we go over here, let's go take a look at the extra thick and ideal size. Here is where you're going to want to go ahead and put in any of the extra keywords that you have that aren't in the title and then aren't also in your back end. You can put them here in your bullet points. Now the main thing here is going to be, you will want to explain very concisely. You don't want to have really long bullet points because 90% of the people are not going to read these things. And so that's why your images are super important. So if you have something you want to say, hey, my mat's really thick and it's the ideal size, great. That's what the second image should be then, or third image should be then. One of the images should highlight that in the images. So in case people don't read it, a lot of times I have even my own customers, they buy things and it says this is only used for this specific size. Then they buy it and they say, oh, I can't use it with this size. Well, the first bullet point actually says that you can't use it for that size, but they didn't read that. So that's one of the things. You move some of this bullet point information into the images if possible, because people will not read. So again, they're going down, durable, high density foam. Again, that's utilized in the second image. Multifunction, again, something right here that they did in the fourth image. So Yep, convenient. That's not spelled right, but that's okay. You want to make sure your spelling's correct too. They did highlight it there that it was easy to clean in the last image. So again, still it's a good start. I would probably just clean these up a little bit more, but when you're first starting out, the important thing is just to start, just to do it, and then you can iterate on them as time goes on. Start doing A/B testing after you've gotten it up. A lot of times people are like, oh, is this the right way to do it? Is this the wrong way? I don't know which way. Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and put it up and then iterate on it as time goes on. The important thing is just to get it up and start doing it. Now, we scroll down here and you can see the product description. Now, the product description, this space now, you want to make sure that you get brand registry. Now, brand registry is significantly harder than what it used to be. It used to be you could just register any brand that you wanted to and it had to have branded packaging. Now you actually have to have a trademark. So if you want to get into brand registry 2.0, we can make an entirely new video for that, but it's worth it. So because what this is going to allow you to do is you're going to be able to put in the A+ content. Also, they've rebranded that to the enhanced brand content. Used to be A+, now it's EBC, or enhanced brand content. And so that's where you're going to be able to put in these giant pictures that you've probably seen. If you go look at any Amazon product right now, Alexa, whatever they got, the HomePod or whatever, you'll see that they've got those giant ones. Now you won't be able to put in the elaborate ones that they have, but you're going to be able to put in some. And so that's the space where that's the whole reason on why you want it, because it's going to help increase conversions. Because again, some of this stuff, somebody's not going to read this, and it's priced at $11.99. So for the most part, this is an impulse buy. So people probably not even going to read this because they know they're going to be able to go ahead and return it very quickly in Amazon. Some people even test it out for 30 days and then they return it. So you're going to want to make sure that you take full advantage of this. And if you don't have a trademark and you're not able to put in the A+ content, then again, I would recommend here, go ahead and put in the most important things left, that these things are not explained up here in the top. Go ahead and put them again here. So for this example, extra thick, I mean, they really just relisted the entire bullet points in a different format in this thing. They're saying the smell can be eliminated in the open air for 2 to 3 days. This is probably because it came straight from the manufacturer. So in this example, this is probably just based on that, and then that. The spelling, I would say this is probably a Chinese manufacturer, a Chinese trading company, and in which case this is probably coming straight from the factory. And so any smells are going to be like, I mean, it's just the plastic smell or rubber smell or PVC smell, because it literally goes into manufacturer's packaging, goes into a boat, and then to the customer, and it sits in the warehouse for a while, and then when the customer buys it, it's still going to have the plastic smell because it's going to have some kind of wrapping or something, packaging around it. So that's probably why that's there. So again, if you don't have anything, if you're not able to use the A+ content, then you're going to want to go ahead and just make sure to reiterate the most important things here in this section. And then, yeah, see here, so even here, 5400 in lawn and garden is still really good. So it goes to show that you don't necessarily have to have it, but it'll help you put it over that little extra hump. I mean, there's no reason not to. If you can get a trademark, I would recommend starting the trademark process as soon as you can. It's going to take 6 to 8 months, and then I mean, you can do it online, LegalZoom, or get a lawyer, or whatever else you want. But my recommendation is, if you want to take it seriously, go ahead and do that, and then just put all the stuff under the brand for that same brand, and you'll be able to have the A+ content. It just makes a difference. All these things added up will move the needle. One of them separately, is not going to move it that much, and you might say, hey, I only did this and it didn't do that much. But think about it. If all these things added up together move the needle 10%, that's 10%. I mean, now let's go ahead and add that. Let's say that he was getting, we'll say 10 sales a day. It's 119, or well, yep. So, and then 10%, that's an extra $11.99. Now times that by 30, times that by 12, that adds up really quickly. So again, customer section, if you have customers asking questions, I encourage you to answer them. Don't just ignore them or think that, oh, this is not a good question, I don't want to answer it. When somebody asks a question on a product detail page, and regardless of whether it's good or a bad question in your mind, go ahead and answer them anyways, and then just reframe your answer into a positive response. He says, is it waterproof? Now, I mean, it depends on, you know, what he considers waterproof. I mean, it's probably water resistant, where the, you know, the water slides off of it. But I guarantee if this is foam, it soaks up water. So, you know, this is good. He responded to it and then says, you know, you can clean it. It's very easy to clean. Now on this one, no, he didn't respond. So again, I would recommend on responding to all of them, because it shows engagement. And then you want people, sometimes people read the questions, not even read the product description or the bullet points, they'll read the questions instead. And so here you can see, yep, see, now this is another example that you could use. This is a mother using it for when she's giving her baby a bath. You know, that's another example. That's tile, you know, that would hurt after a while if you're sitting there with your baby. So that's perfect. So that's another example of a lifestyle photo that you can use. And again, lifestyle photos are going to be photos that are showing the product in use. You're showing them in everyday life. So now one of the things that because this is what I consider a Me Too product, which is it's just another product. It's the same exact product everybody else. So you're like, hey, me too. And so what I would recommend is, you can see this seller, if we go to their seller profile here, you can see that they actually already thought about that. And so they created another listing. And this time they decided, hey, we know that people are going to buy these things. Let's go ahead and include the mat with the gloves, because we know that one of the main uses for this is outdoors and for gloves and for gardening. So they included the gloves. Not only that, they're selling the bundle at $9.99 or $9.90. They're selling just a pad $11.99. This size is 18 by 11, and you get gloves, and it's cheaper. So they found a way to reduce their costs, probably buy in bulk, because that's one of the ways that you're going to be able to reduce your costs from your supplier, is buy more. Because nobody's just going to give you a lower price just because, you know, like you've been talking to them for 3 months or anything else. You know, everybody has bills to pay. So one of the things is, the more you buy, the lower the price that you're going to get. So you can see here, this is perfect. They saw something that they could include, and it was the gloves. Now, if you come to this page and you're looking at it, and you're like, man, let's see what else I can add to this product right now. You see that all the other things that are frequently bought with this pad are other foam pads. Now again, if you checked out the other video, a lot of times this entire section gets muddled up with other sellers' products that everybody's looked the same exact items. So, and you don't even know what really people are buying, because other competitors are, you know, people are buying them or testing them out, and then you're not seeing what other items people are actually buying with. Now these kneeling pads, I'd be willing to bet that's actually something that people buy with, and then these gloves, that as well. But outside of that, you don't really see anything. I mean, that's an entire kit, so that's also possible. But you don't really see what other things that people are actually buying. And so that's where Yassiv.com comes in, and this is one of the tools that we used in one of my previous videos, that basically is just a visual example of the frequently bought with and other items that people have bought with that are similar, and then also competing products. So you can see right here, we already found the pad, and one of the other things here, just by quickly looking, you can see what's really popular with all these pads: gardening gloves, gardening gloves, more gardening gloves. So right away, if we were only going to use Amazon.com, the frequently bought with, to help us build out a bundle, we'd be searching for hours, days maybe, to find out what's a good product. But with Yassiv, we typed in kneeling pad, patio lawn and garden in the section, hit the search button, we found it, and then one of the main things that we see over and over again are these gardening gloves, and there's little gardening tools, over and over and over again, you know. And then actually here's a belt, which I'm willing to bet is also pretty popular. So again, I mean, just gloves are just like all over the place. And so by using multiple tools instead of just like one, this allows you to quickly find complementary items that you can build a bundle with. So we know that somebody's selling these gloves for $8.99. If somebody's selling these gloves for $8.99 and they get the pad at $11.99, and then you combine them, now I'm not saying you have to go to $9.90 like this seller did, but even if you went to $13.99 or something else, people are going to want to buy that versus having to spend $9 plus $12. That's $21. Or they can buy yours for $13.99 and you can still make money. And so that's going to be a way of how you're going to be able to jump yourself ahead of other competitors. And now the next thing, with a new product, this product doesn't have that many reviews. It's got 46 reviews, and one of the things that you're looking at, well, it's 5,400. That's really great. But one of the things that you're going to see, you're going to run into a lot, is that new products or with low review count products, they might have really low BSR. So 1,000. How does a product with 46 reviews have 5,400 BSR when there's so many other ones out there? Is it doing a review blast or a launch blast or anything else? Well, there's only one way to find out. And so what I like to do is I use a website called camelcamel.com. It's been around for a long time, but you go ahead, you type it in there, and you find out, okay, what's the sales rank for this product? So for this one, I'm going to grab it. You can see we were looking at the other one. See here. And we can see, let's go, all time. It's been around for 3 months. Now you got to create an account. So, and then it'll show you the sales rank. But you can see for 3 months, they changed their price. They launched at 11, went up, and then they came down, settled down to eventually $11.99 very recently, actually. Another website, so just in case this one doesn't have any information for you, another website that I use is called Keepa, KEEPA.com. So you can see here, we've already got it set up, and you can see that, look, after a while, the whole point in checking this stuff out is to confirm whether or not somebody did a launch service or how many times that they changed their price. So you can see right now with this new one, he just recently changed it to $9.90. He didn't have it at always at $9.90. He was at $12.97, and he was floating around what looks like 30,000 to 16,000, almost 100,000. He dropped it down to $9.90. It's a huge drop. And now he's floating around 12,000. Let's see what he's at right now. 15,000 BSR at $9.90. He's trying to find out what's the sweet spot for this to get more sales. The problem right now is probably it doesn't have a lot of reviews. This one's showing 1 review, but when you go to the product detail page, it doesn't have any reviews yet. So it might just not be showing yet. Or it did have one and then it got removed. We don't know, but again, this is a good way to double check that. So if we check out the other one, the original one, we can see, okay, this thing has been around for right here 245 days. So let's just go check the last 3 months, and you can see this is pretty consistent. Earlier in January, it was at $13.59 actually, and then dropped it down to $11.99, and then now it's at $10.99. It was at $10.99 for a long time, and you see what 3,000 BSR, even. Yeah, 28, 5,000, jumped up there to 6, and then he jumped up to $11.99, and you know what? Well, it went up for sure, but I mean, it's no different than what he was over here. So what he did is he found he was staying at, he had consistent sales, and he said, you know what, let's try a higher price point, see if he can make more money, and he did, and it's almost the exact same. So right here, even for the last month, he's been around this bar right here, around 6,000, 5,000, and you can see he increased it another $1, and he's still the same. This is going to go up and down as what looked like the trend. So that's why you want to check these kinds of things out and see, look, actually, God, this guy was, doing really well, and then he said, you know what, I want to see if I can make more money. You want to check out the price elasticity for your product. You don't know what it is until you try it. You can't be afraid to try things. And so you can see right here, this Keepa is a really great tool to verify whether sellers have been using blast services or not. Blast services are, when They give away a bunch of products to try to get a huge sales velocity and trying to stick at the top of either for rankings or keywords, and hoping that that spike in BSR is going to help them get pushed further up into the search results, and then people just start buying it organically. Now that, again, that's a whole nother video that we're going to have out for you guys, but that there's a lot of different varying strategies for that. And so, but again, this is one way you want to do that, because you don't want to get caught into a product that looks like it's a great opportunity and there's like 3 or 4 sellers that have, you know, 1,000 BSR, and then you get into it and there's no sales, and then you go back to it and you find out all those people actually were using blast services at the same time, and then that sales velocity is actually around 20,000, not the 1,000 that everybody was at when you first looked at it 90 days ago. So this is going to really help you figure that out. If you go ahead and take a look here, we don't know if this person used a blast service or not, but he went from 357,000, so that's like maybe 5 a month or something, dropped it down to 90,000, and then it's slowly been going down. And so it could be a combination. Now for this, it was just getting worse, worse, and worse, and worse. Same price. I mean, he lowered it a little bit, stayed the same. It actually got worse at $12.97, and then it dropped all of a sudden. Now, is that indicative of a blast service? If it is, that's a really bad blast service, because it's only, I mean, just went from like 5 sales to maybe, you know, like 10 or 15 or 20 sales. It all varies based on the category. So these are just estimates, but it's not likely. It's just likely that maybe the seasonality of it finally picked up, and then now he's slowly getting back down to a lot better BSR. And then down here, he dropped it even more. And so you can see here at $12.97, he's already at 30,000. And then over here at $9.90, he's at 26. So that's like one sale. One sale would get you back, you know, losing one sale would get you back to like the 31,000. So I don't know what the value is in doing that, but you can see down here right now it's starting to pick up. You know, gardening's picking up right about now. People are starting to buy stuff, go out there, work on their gardens and things like that, depending on where you are. And so now he's a little bit better, and you might keep it like that until he gets a couple more reviews on there, and then slowly increase the price, because one of the things you don't want to do is get caught at this low price and then you don't ever increase it, because then your competition all starts to come in at that. So, but this is one of the main reasons in why you want to save as much as you can, like on things on like shipping, and not using air courier or air freighting things in, because it adds so much more money to your cost level that you don't necessarily want to do it. So I would recommend, you know, taking a look at those things and really using these tools. And so again, we'll go ahead and we're going to take a look at this one next time. But this one right here, guys, is another example of how to add more value, the things that you need to look out for. If you got any more other questions or anything, stuff that you'd like us to talk about for the next one, let us know in the comments. If you found value in this, please hit the like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. Give us any feedback that you guys have. We really appreciate it. And then any other product detail pages you guys want us to review, let us know. Send us an email. It's going to be in the bio. And then, or just comment and said, hey, I want you to do another one on, you know, Apple Watch wristbands or chargers or iPhone cases, or whatever other product detail pages you want us to do, and we'll do a walkthrough on it and how we would improve it, what the tracking is for it, and how we can add value to it. Because again, this is gonna be a normal little series for us, reviewing product detail pages from a wide variety of categories and how we would improve them and how we would market to them. So again, thanks for tuning in, Ecom Elite community. Really appreciate it. If you haven't checked us out, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, hashtag Ecom1337. Really appreciate it, guys. Check you next time. Bye. When you look